Should we try to speak English to warm up a little bit?
Yes, we can.
Vad sa du?
Vad fan sa du?
It is very good if we speak a little bit English first.
Yes. I hope my problem is that when I speak English, sometimes I mix with Swedish. Hopefully, I will not make this mistake. If I notice this, then I will try to repeat in English.
Swinglish.
Swinglish is always good.
That's good. Well, I do that sometimes too. I mix between Swinglish, American accent, and British accent.
That's the best. People will think we're 10 people.
Yeah.
Not just 3.
Something like that.
Okay, maybe we can start. Okay, let's do it. Okay, welcome to the podcast. Today we are recording with 3 people. Me, Zoltan, host of SSMG, and I have Robin and Dominic with me. Robin, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Sitting here and working with the technology of recording at 2 places at the same time so that we don't lose, in case we lose anything here. Dominic, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you guys. I hear you very well.
How are you today?
Fine. Great, nice weather. How are you guys today?
Very nice, great. Maybe I can say a couple of words about SSMG, and then you guys can take over with your part.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
All right. For you people that are listening, SSMG shortly started 2008 with airsoft events, big game events. And during these 10 years, we have developed more towards a military experience concept that has naturally happened or occurred during the years, where we focus on realism. And that is one of the topics that we're going to talk about today. Especially Operation Eagle, that is a marine airsoft environment military experience based game, where both Dominic and Robin has been participating as team leaders. So that's a short intro about that, so we will talk more about Operation Eagle soon. Maybe Robin, you can start introducing you and your team, or what you guys have been up to.
Yeah, sure. As we said, my name is Robin. I'm 32 years old. I have 2 kids back home. Everyday job, and I play with the Trojans. I've been playing for, I think it's 7 years now. But the Trojan team has been a part of SSMG since 2008, since the first game. Trojans has always attended, which is great, which is very, very fun.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so we've been a part of it since the start, and that's something we're very proud of, and hopefully we will be here for another 10 years.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, yeah.
So that's a short introduction of me and our team.
A short version. Yeah, that's right. You guys have been a part of every operation that we have hosted so far since 2008, since the beginning. And you guys haven't missed out on one hosted game.
The team has been part since every game for 12 years. So
that's awesome. That's incredible.
Something to be proud of.
That is actually. That is great. Dominic, do you have anything to share with our listeners?
Yeah, of course. Hi, my name is Dominic. I'm 36 years old. 2 kids as well at home. I work regular job. My team is named PPU, which is it's similar. It's parasol Polish unit. It's basically a bit Polish history. The team we live in Sweden, but we are based on most of Polish players that live and work and join in Sweden. And our team is now it's 7 years old, and actually when we start the same year we start our team, I was participating first time. It was 2013. I was first time on the ssmg event. It was the Tango, and since that time my team is always, as Robin's team, we're always on all the operations that ssmg arrange, because personally I think it's, if not for me, it's the best planned and the best organized events which I have been on, actually.
Wow, that's
very well organized. It's, for me, it's for a guy which is interested with this kind of more tactical stuff. It's great. It's just awesome for me and my team.
Yeah, you guys do a wonderful job. I mean, as you say, you've been on board for 7 years now, and your team has always been there, more or less. And
yeah, exactly.
Both Trojans and PPU have made a huge development during these years. And the strongest part from what I've seen is that both your team's ability to actually adapt to different situations and different type of gaming. And with all your team members, I mean, people come and go, but the team is always there. And that's what I like to see about you guys, the awesome force and power that you have in the field, no matter what kind of missions are thrown at your team, and or personal challenges that you have, is phenomenal, because you guys can handle everything, basically, from what I've seen.
That's why we keep coming back every year, because we get new challenges every year.
Always
exactly,
a challenge.
When you think you know something and you think you're good at something, yeah, then Sultan comes in and gives you another mission which you suck at, and you have to start over again.
And then we get better. And that's what I try to do, because I think I've mentioned this in other podcasts also, but the trouble that we all face is that we all have different knowledges. I mean, we are people are a different age, we have different lifestyle, all kind of different abilities that have to meet on the field, and we have to sync our capabilities. And that is also why I provide you guys with different challenges all the time, because I want to widen the knowledge within the teams and between the teams, so that everybody gets on board and can start enjoying good advanced gaming. Because the worst thing that can happen for us is that we don't know how to handle things, because we don't have the knowledge. Since if you can be a good runner, but you can be in tremendous physical shape, but if you don't have any field experience and knowledge about what you are doing out there, then you will not be able to transform your physical ability to useful information within gaming. So we always have to try to keep that balance. So how do you feel about that, guys?
Robin, you start.
Yeah, exactly as you said. You can be in phenomenal physical shape. You can be running every day and have the best condition of everyone. But when it comes to a scenario and a game, of course it's an advantage if you're in great shape. But you have to have the mental part as well. And I think the mental part of this is the biggest one. If you can't if you can't get into the game and actually for a while believe it's for real and you do everything for real, because the situations are real. When we're out in the middle of the night, swimming, walking, whatever we do, those are real situations, and you have to be there mentally and to be able to actually believe everything is real. And I think that's the most important part, to be there mentally. And physically, it's obvious an advantage if you have a great condition, but I think the mental part is the biggest part.
True. Dominic, anyway?
Yes, exactly. I completely agree with Robin. You know, physically, you know, you can train hard, you can be a good runner. There is something you can train, but when it comes to the mission, and you know, you get the briefing, and okay, we have to swim few kilometers, and we start middle in the night, so be unseen and so on, you know, and break this barrier to get into the water, to the lake, which was not warm, you know, middle of the night, and try to navigate through the night. You know, it's, you know, it's really, you need to be really mentally, you have to, maybe you don't have to be so strong, but you have to break this barrier, because there is no, you know, there is nothing impossible. There is only barriers which we have to get through.
True.
Basically, I will go back a little bit what you said about our evolving, because you know our teams so many years.
Yeah.
What I like in SSMG, that you know, some other events, you know, they change scenarios, but you know, it's different situations, like, you know, on the same difficulty level, but you know, as I experienced that, you see how we evolved, and so you try to arrange the missions and the situations and scenario to make us to higher level, because you know, I see this, you know, what was in the beginning when we came first, and then after all these years, what kind of missions we're doing now. I was not even, you know, on my first events at SSMG, it was great, but I didn't even think that it could be so. From one side, it could be hard, it's difficult mission, very complex mission, but from the other side, it's so fun, you know, especially when you see that you can actually manage. So I love this, that you evolve with us. You're not going on the same level. You're going every time you go step up, try to press us to more and more, so we can show for ourselves that we can do some stuff which we was not even thinking about before, actually.
Yeah, true. Robin, anything?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's correct, Dominic. Just as he says, at the first game where I attended, it was like just to be out all night, maybe sleep under a tree. That's like a big step when you don't know, when you haven't done it before. It's a big step just to be out in the woods all night, sleep under a tree, and walk. That's a big step. If someone would have told me at that time, in some years you will be swimming in the middle of the night, I would have said, no, I won't, because that's just so far away from what I thought I could do. But as we take it, as Dominic said, we're always being pushed by you. Sometimes before the games we think this is something we can't do, this is impossible. But again, with the mental part of it, you have to get into the mental state that let's try it. Even if we can't do it, let's try it. Let's do it. Let's do our best. And we often succeed. It's not what do you say? Impossible.
Exactly.
The most things are possible. Just get in the right state of mind.
And that's true what you guys say, because if now imagine this being the game host, put yourself in my situation. If I would start creating impossible missions, then nobody could have completed them. So what I want to say with that is, Nothing that I plan or have ever planned at an event has been impossible. If I can do it or you can do it, then somebody else can do it. It's just a matter of how much do you want it.
Yeah.
And my job is to be there as a coach, as a personal trainer. I mean, some people pay 60 euros or whatever for a personal trainer at the gym, just to have somebody standing there maybe screaming at them and pushing them over the edge just because they want to lose weight. And that's a little bit same as I see my role in the whole thing. I plan what I plan, but I try to have a long-term plan for a long-term evolution for you guys, so that you climb with knowledge. Because if I know that you know how to do stuff, then I can also plan more advanced missions. But I can never plan an advanced mission if I don't have people that can execute them. Then everything is a catch-22 situation. So that is why I try to set myself in a coaching position where I try stuff myself, and then I take it out on you. So to see if this really works. No, so yeah. Maybe I'm going to say a couple of words about Operation Eagle overall. We have touched the subject already with swimming and stuff like that. I created Operation Eagle because SSMG has what I call the multi-level concept. And the multi-level is anchored to knowledge. What I wanted to create is a full-scale airsofting within all different environments. We cannot only play CQB, or we cannot always run around in the woods. There are different dimensions to it. Operation Eagle is the marine alternative to airsofting. This means that you have to be able, if we take parallels to military units, there are military units out there that operate in archipelago environments at sea, and areas of the world where there is a lot of water. Deltas, lakes, streams, etc. 70% of our globe is water, so most of it is water and not land, which means that if you do not know how to take the battle into the water and out of the water, then you miss a large portion of the whole battlefield thing. That is why I created Operation Eagle, because I wanted to help and assist everybody that's interested to learn how to operate within these environments. And for this, of course, you need a certain mindset, you need certain type of gear, you need a certain type of relationship to water overall, because it's complicated. It depends on what time of the year. Is the water cold? Is the water hot? Day, night? Obstacles with boating, hazards with boating. You can hit an underwater rock and smash your outboard, for example. There is the boating part, there is the swimming part, there is the combat swimming part. All these kind of situations that we have to adapt ourselves and our teams to, just to make the battlefield more interesting, and of course more diverse. And that is the multi-level concept. And at the end of this podcast, I'm hoping to touch more of this multi-level concept, because then we also have Tango and Yeti winter events and etc. So that is why Operation Eagle was created, so that we don't miss out on a very interesting part. How do you feel about that, guys? Robin, any words about your first thoughts regarding marine missions? Do you remember the first time I approached you with it, or you heard about it?
Yeah, well, we were at the first Eagle event, of course. And yeah, it was a new experience. And before, when we got the information that it would be a marine event, of course you start to think it's a whole different game plan. There's not that much walking anymore. It's more about taking. Yeah, the first game was all about the boats. It was not the swimming parts, but still, there's a whole different game when you're on a lake and you have to take the boat if you're going to go somewhere. And we didn't know what to expect, but as I think you know, we got hooked. That's why we love this game. It's a whole different type of game, and it fills a gap where we didn't play before. So it's yeah, I think it's awesome.
Great. Dominic?
Yeah, well, I was also, of course, at the first Eagle. You know, for me, idea was great because it was something new. It was something new. Of course, as Robin said, you know, you always worry how it will work. You know, how we have to get the boat. Most of time we was on the boats. You know, getting through between the islands and sweep them and so on. Yeah, there was something very new, but I really like to try, and I love it, and I totally love it. It was, you know, hard, but at the same time it was very, very fun, and it was something new which we experienced, and for us was great. That's why we were on all Eagle events, because we thought it was very something new. I recommend this for those guys which was not able to participate. I said you have to go there, and then next time we were even more stronger team on the Eagle, so it was even much better. It was much better, and it was much more fun actually.
Yeah, because the fun part also grows with the knowledge. Because if you don't know what you're doing, then it kind of takes the edge off it, because then you start thinking, what am I doing here? You cannot really enjoy I don't know if I should take a parallel to other things. Let's say if you take a parallel to surfing, if you don't know how to surf, you try, but you always fall off, but you're not really surfing, and you don't have the knowledge to stand and surf a wave. But you have to try again and again, and then eventually the fun part will show up, where you can stand on that board for a longer period, and then eventually you will start surfing a wave the whole way. And it little bit the same thing with new knowledge overall. I would say nothing special for Operation Eagle. So I feel that people that want to start with this should really have an open mind. If you don't have the how to, then you can always ask me or you guys, because you are experienced at it. So there are people within SSMG, including you guys, that can assist and help out for those that really hesitate and feel like, this watered thing is nothing for me. I say this as a coach to everybody that's listening: always practice what you are not good at, because the things that you are good at, you already know. Do stuff that you are not comfortable with and not familiarized with. That's when you will start developing, because nobody's an expert at everything. That's for true. So what do you feel about that, guys? Dominic, any thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, you know. It was the thing was, it was something new. That's why, you know, I'm trying to be like out of the box, you know. I don't, as you said, I don't, you know. Okay, you can go on some Saturday event, you know, and shoot some people which came first time, and you know, you are great at the field. But when you come to this kind of event, where you have to plan, especially Eagle, Planning is totally different compared to the land missions. All the time you see some object which you think, oh, it's very close, it will take not much time, and then you get on the boat, you start to row, and then you get the wind in the face, you get waves in the face, you have to rethink, you have to replan, or you have to, this is something what you have to think about. So it's, for me, challenging. For some years ago, actually I have to say, the SSMG opened, my mind for this kind of challenges, because as I said before, it was like regular events, different scenario, different stuff, but nothing new. It was nothing which pushed me more. Of course, I got more experience, like shooting people, and so on. But really planning and all this like tactical thinking, actually me and my team, we got at SSMG, because it's so many different aspects you have to think about. And then the fun part is when you start to when you start to manage to plan and so on, and you complete the mission, then it's, the feeling, it's so awesome that, it's for, when I told to somebody, it's hard to believe actually for the people what we are doing and what we are actually completing on the different missions. It's insane. From the other side, I said, you have to try. It's nothing, I'm not the half a god or something. I'm a regular guy which focus and try to be like, as I said, out of the box, try to something new, and then try to, the thing is, the worst thing you can do, it's like you see or hear about something and no, I can't do it.
Right.
The worst thing you can do. The thing you should do, okay, I should try to do it. Okay, if I don't manage, in worst case scenario, I will prepare myself better with the physical or the equipment and try again. But just to give up in the beginning, then it's useless. But the thing is, we especially like Eagle, it's really push you to think, actually, to think and plan. And what I want to mention about this, because you don't provide all this scenario, you even try to, before the second edition of Eagle, you get us to the classroom, and when we had all the questions, you try to prepare us for the marine operation mission. It's not like, okay, you do this and this, and then do it by yourself. You prepared us before. You showed us how to calculate, how to think, how to plan, and so on and so on. And this really I loved. I spent hours on the evening. My wife was pissed on me because I was sitting 2 hours every evening, try to calculate and do the stuff, just to be, just to manage to get the missions complete and make the as good as I can. So and then we get to this. Then we have fun. When it's much easier when you prepared and you think a little bit out of the box. You can plan and so on.
Yeah.
Then the game and the event, they are really fun, because you focus on if you know how to plan, you can focus on the mission. You don't have to think about if I manage or not. You just actually it's a question. Okay, how are we gonna manage? How are we gonna plan to do it? Exactly. Because we know how to plan, and then we choose which plan we take, how we do it. That's it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's good, and that's what I try to do, because you need to be provided with knowledge because from my aspect to the player aspect is, I see a real hazard in having people on water that don't know what they're doing, because water is dangerous. I mean, in worst case you can drown if you see it that way. But if you know what you are doing, then it's, well, I wouldn't say that the danger is always there, but you eliminate the risk, and you lower the risk of actually something happening. And also regarding the missions, I mean, as you said, totally different thinking, because you have these tremendous large fields of open areas, or if we can call them the blue fields of water, where you expose yourself. So either you have a really fast boat and you have to take yourself, expose yourself and your team on open water, and when you do that and the enemy is around you, that of course you just imagine if the ammunition would not be airsoft pellets, there would be live ammunition. How much planning you would require just to cross an open field like a lake. So that and that's the aspect what I try to get in to the mission part. I'm not thinking airsoft, I'm thinking real situations. That's why there is so much planning for you guys and so much knowledge which you have to put inside your heads before you start, because then you also will start enjoying the event at a whole different level. That's how I see it. I want to coach you guys to be better and better. And also boating overall, like leisure boating. Not everybody's into boating and marine life. That is also a total set of different knowledge. What is boating? I mean, you can go for a swim with your family or friends and then you get up, but marine boating life, that's a special thing. It's like being into golfing or being into tennis or some other sport, or fishing, or whatever you like to do. If you don't have the knowledge, you don't know the how to, then you cannot really enjoy. So that is why the knowledge is a big part of it. Robin, do you have anything to add at this?
I can only agree with everything that Dominic says. The planning, of course, it's a major part. If you start a game at your starting point and you don't have a plan already, then you will waste your first like 4 or 5 hours to do the planning. You have to be prepared, and you have to have a plan, and you have to make sure that everyone in the team knows about the plan, and you will just start and do it by the plan.
Yeah.
So of course that's a very important part on these games, which I think is a big difference to other airsoft games, where you get a starting point and then you get a direction, go to the south, and in about 500 meters you will meet 20 people, shoot as many as you can, and then come back. I think that's a major difference, because we have to do all the planning. We have to do the planning based on the skill set that we have, based on everything we know about our team members.
Yeah.
So of course it's that's a really big part, and that's the fun part also for me, and I think as for Dominic, as team leaders, we have an extra responsibility for the planning, so that our team members get the most out of the game. If we do a bad job planning the game, or planning the missions that we get, everyone will suffer from it in the team. So I think that's where we have a big part. And of course, when you plan your missions well, and you execute them well, and you get to the finish line, and you make it. That's a very satisfying moment, when everything doesn't have to go as you planned, but as long as you finish and it was somewhat how you planned it, that's a great feeling.
Definitely.
And also for as we just said about all of us, we're just average guys. I mean, in our team we have one guy. He's 54 years old. He still plays with us. He does everything that we do. He walks the same amount of kilometers as everyone else. He does everything everyone does. So anyone can do this. It's just about having your mindset, and if you have questions, as we said, ask me, ask Dominic, ask you, Sultan.
Yeah, definitely.
We're always open to answer questions for those who feel insecure or think it's a too big of a step to play this. It's not. It's just you have to start.
Exactly. So the worst part is to get the ball rolling, and then it just kind of works out by its own.
Yeah.
And as you say, you made a good point there, because the coaching part is somewhat not only my responsibility, but also you guys that are more experienced. I mean, I've never experienced, at least at our event, if somebody else that is new that shows up that hasn't received the amount of support if they just ask for it. Regardless, we have resources during the events that I can redirect. I can ask you guys, hey, okay, we have a team of new people on board here. Can you guys do this and this with them? They need a little bit of assistance, and then after a while, just let them go and see how things turn out. But the most important part is you should never be afraid to fail, because this is not about showing up and doing everything right. No, because if you want to do everything right, then war is not the business for you. Because if there is a place where everything goes wrong, that is the battlefield. So the whole point is to when you start an SSMG event, you're kind of like on a journey, where, as you said, you start your mission. It's not doing a 500-meter walk and just get rid of your pellets and then go back. It's more on a deeper level, where you put yourself through this adventure where you reach the end, and hopefully you will see the big picture at the end. But if you take out a small fraction or portion and just lift it out, okay, I'm in the middle of the night in the water floating with my gear. If you just lift that part out and you take it out of context and see what the hell that is, well, it doesn't sound very satisfying. I can agree on that. But if you ask the question why and what is the big purpose of this, and I always try to put in a short-term learning and a long-term learning curve evolution. The short-term learning would be you learn how to control your breathing. You're a little bit cold, but then you realize if I start swimming, then I will stop freezing in the water. That's the short-term snap-up knowledge that you will have to go through. Okay, so I got into the situation. I was really cold. What did I do instantaneously on site to get rid of the problem? Okay, yeah, that's a short-term knowledge. Okay, until next time you will know. The long-term knowledge is I didn't even know that I could swim 5 kilometers. And now I do. And suddenly, in the long term, if you see it, for example, if I would ask you guys to put on the swimsuits, okay, you have to swim 500 meters. Then I imagine your reaction after swimming 5 kilometers, 10 times more, then you would probably ask me, is there even a point for us to put on the swimsuits?
Yeah, I think you can recall what I said the first time we were going into the water, Sultan. I think the first time it was about 800 meters.
Yeah.
And I asked you, Sultan, please, we can't do this. Can we start with 25 meters? Because it's 800 meters is too far. And now on Eagle we swam 5 kilometers. So
yeah.
It's quite a difference between 25 meters and 5 kilometers.
Yes, and this is where I love to make my point, and where I want to prove things for you guys and for yourselves, that I put you through 5 kilometer swim, and now if I would ask you to swim 500 or 800 meters, you would like, what's the point? It's not even point getting wet. No. So you see the contrast. First time when I ask, let's say that we ask a new person or somebody that's really new at this, you have to swim 200 meters to the other side. Oh, that would be a real challenge for someone. For you guys, yeah, sure, okay, I'll get in the water, I'll take care of the problem at the other side. You guys do not even reflect over it anymore. If I throw you a mission that you have to do this and this and this, and there is a total of 1.8 kilometer swim involved, then for you guys nowadays, with the knowledge that you guys have snapped up, that's totally normal, because we have raised the bar to a different level.
Yeah, I can just say that for a year ago, it would be impossible for me. I would say no. I would think only bad things. I would I can't swim. I can't swim that far. I don't want to go in the water. I don't like it in the water. I had all the excuses for not going into the water. And then for some reason at the Eagle, just the latest Eagle, for some reason I sat there in my swimsuit in the middle of the night on the edge to the lake, and then we get the call on the radio, it's time to go in, and I just think to myself, what am I doing? This is not normal. This is not what you do on a Friday night. It's it's and then you just plunge in and you start swimming, and then you have about 6 hours to swim, so it's just to do it. But as I said, like a year ago, it's impossible. It wouldn't be not even a thought. I would never do it. But yeah, I'm very, very happy that I did, because it's something that I carry with me, and that I'm very proud of.
You should be, because that was a hell of a performance. That was awesome.
Yeah, I want to agree with Robin, but this what we are talking about, you showed us first that we can do some part, and then, as you said, when we had discussion after Eagle, and when we discussed the pre-event event, when we were swimming this or approximately 1 kilometer lake, we was just laughing, because now it's new, this 1 kilometer, which was at that time was like oh shit for us, now it's like shit, now it's you just laugh, because when you know that you swim 5 kilometers middle in the night, it's totally, it's like I don't know, it's like you learn, I don't know, it's like you see someone is riding a bicycle and you don't know how to do it, and then you just jump on, you learn, and then you can and then you can run, you can ride on the bike like few kilometers, and then oh shit, at that time I couldn't even keep the balance, and now I can ride the kilometers, it's the same feeling, now it's it's something which is, from one part I was proud of our team, that we managed to do it. We decided to do it, and then we managed to do it.
Right.
We was just so happy that it's and then we was very happy that we agreed to get into the event, and then try to do it, because now I know if I will say no to this event, oh no, I cannot go because something, then now I know how much I will regret that I didn't come, for example. So it's something.
I think as you said there, Dominic, I think the toughest part of the swim, the 5 kilometer swim in the middle of the night, I think the toughest part was like a month before, when we had to decide, are we going to do this?
Yeah.
I think that was the toughest part. And then when you say that, we're actually going to do this, and you prepare, when you sit there and are on your way into the water, the worst part, you already done the worst part, because you faced your inner demons with saying no to all of this. So I think that's the worst part. When you actually do it, then you just do it. The worst part is accepting that you are gonna do it.
Yeah, to make this step. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's totally true.
Yeah, that's right, and that's always the hard part, to convince yourself, because convincing yourself also means that you have to make a change in your life. And we all know that we people in general like to have their lives as things should be as they always have been. And when you are not familiar with something, or something is new to you, then it is the first thing that I think 90% of people that do, including myself occasionally, is that we raise a red flag and say that you start out by being skeptic. This doesn't sound right, why should I do this, or etc., etc. It's the same thing that you always know that I should really go out for a run in the forest this evening just to train a little bit. The hardest part is actually getting out the door. After you finish your run, you feel good. You take a shower, you're off the grid.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah, that sums it up very well.
Yeah, yes.
But I think for the listeners, we should give them the missions that we did on Eagle, because they have been sitting listening to us talking about all these practical things. But let's give the people the mission, the first mission that you guys did. I will tell my planning part, and then you guys can walk us through the experience part.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, first mission, Operation Eagle 2020. What happened was that there was a situation far inside an area. Now imagine the area is, I think it's 15 by 15 kilometers or something like that. If you stretch it out, you can get up to 20-25 by 15 kilometers. So it's not a small lake area. So what happened was that there was this firefight with the team inside the middle of the area, behind enemy lines. They were basically defeated. One guy survived, and he got the chance to communicate the situation that they were in to their central command. So your mission was to go in into enemy territories and retrieve the wounded personnel and extract them. Simple, basic mission. The difficulty part was that there was no way to go in by boat, because they had coastal radars monitoring the waters. So any inflatable craft or any small boat or anything surface going would be detected on radar, and you will have enemy patrol on you directly, and you would be out. So the only way to reach this area was through water and through swimming. And since you guys were at Mil.Ex level, you were supposed to simulate a special operations team. So swimming in was the only option to get into the area before you actually started to search for this person that was lost. This person had a GPS tracker, but the tracker was weak, so you had a small fraction of the signal available, which I played it out that if you get in within a radius of 1 kilometer within the person, then you will get a position lock on the individual. And that was the whole situation. So you had to swim in, find the wounded person, escort them or carry them through the area. But before you actually could take him, call in a Navy tactical craft for your extraction at the coastline somewhere where you were supposed to decide where, you had to take out one of the coastal radars so that boat could come in and pick you guys up. And only then could you extract the person. And you made your insertion nighttime, just because to minimize your signature. You were in the water to minimize your heat signature, and that worked because, as I remember, you guys tried with the heat camera and there was no signature basically, and so on. So that was the mission. I'm going to start with, or does anybody want to start, have a go at it first? Your side of it.
Yeah, I can start.
Sure, go ahead.
Do it.
Yeah, as you said, that was the mission. So in the middle of the night, we started with we had a route, which meant swimming, walking, swimming, walking, swimming, walking. And we're gonna go up on all the islands on the way to our target. And as we started swimming, we soon realized, why should we go up on the islands and walk? It's better to stay in the water and swim, because with the gear that we had on, with the swimsuits, they're not the greatest shoes to walk in.
Right.
So we soon took the we said, let's just keep swimming as far as we can. So we took the long swim. We stopped. I think we stopped 2 times. First time we stopped to navigate, to see that we were actually on the right track, which was a great idea, because if we haven't done that, I think we would still be swimming, because we were planning on taking a route that was going to be pretty wrong. So that was a good 5-minute break. And then we kept on. We kept on the swimming. I can talk how long about the swimming, but when we finally reached the shore, I think after about 6 hours, I think we stopped for approximately 30 minutes to get some heat, and so to run on one of the islands to get some heat back in your body. And then when we finally reached the shore, of course we were kind of tired. So the first thing we did was to unpack our backpacks and get some sleep. We took some shelter, and I think we had a 2.5 hour sleep. And then the mission was to locate our fallen team member who needed help. So we started searching, and we knew that within 1 kilometer we would get his exact point on his GPS. So we started searching all the land area, a tactical search where we knew the 1 kilometer is what we need to be within. So we started walking, and of course he wasn't at the first kilometer. He was pretty deep down on the map, so we had to walk for quite a while. Then we finally found him, and of course that was not going to be an easy part after that, because what we found was a doll that weighed approximately 30 kilos. So we had to carry him all the way back. So we lifted him up, started walking back. It was getting dark again. We took the walk all the way back to save him. And then when we came back, we had to call in the boat. And before we called in the boat, we had to shoot out the radar system. And we did. So that was an easy explaining of of like a 18-hour operation.
Yeah, that was just one mission, and it took you guys how long exactly?
I think we started at it was 1:01 in the night, and I think we took the shot at about maybe 2300. They have to say maybe 23 hours.
Yeah.
I think we got it to a 5-kilometer swim, and then I think we walked a total of 26 kilometers right after. to search and find him and to take everyone back. So yeah, it was a long mission, but it was, I think, probably one of the best missions so far.
Nice. So how long did the swimming take?
I think in total it was about 6 hours.
What was the most difficult part of the whole mission thing?
It's hard to say. Of course, it's a hard mission.
Yeah. Anything personal, like feet?
For me, as I said before, water is not my thing. When I'm on vacation, I don't go into the water. I go to the waist. I don't go out and swim in open water. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it. So of course, that's what's the main problem for me personally. But when you're in the water and when you swim for 2 hours, you think, yeah, okay, let's just keep paddling, just keep kicking those legs,
right.
and it will hopefully soon be over. So yeah, that was, I think, as I said before, that was probably harder before than it was when we were actually doing it.
Right.
But yeah, after 4.5 hours, when we got up on land for like 20 minutes, that's where our feet became really cold up to our knees, up to our waist. We started being really, really cold. That's when you start to think, maybe it's time to quit, maybe it's time to call in a rescue boat, maybe we should just stop and everything. But that's the mental part.
Yeah.
My teammate said, yeah, we can do that, or we can start running on the island so we get warm again, and then we can jump in the water.
Right.
Seemed like a better idea. So that's what we did. We started running to become warm again, and then we jumped in and kept on swimming for the last, I think it was 1,200 meters we had.
Yeah.
On the last swim. So of course, yeah, the swimming was it was tough, but I think it was harder before than when we actually were in the water. But yeah, the whole mission, the planning of it, the execution of it, yeah, it's tough, but really, really fun.
Yeah. It was also a beautiful evening. It was full moonlight. I think it was even full moon.
Yeah.
So if you really wanted it, you could even have a moment at that point if you just could find the time.
Yeah. If you had time for that, I would
yeah.
I had some other things to think about.
Yes, you did.
Keep floating and those.
Well, I was always on standby with the boat with an inflatable. In case anything would go wrong, or if you guys would need immediate assistance, then I wasn't farther away than 2 minutes, I think. So we did it pretty good and safe, and you guys were basically unsinkable, so we did it pretty good. Dominic, any?
Yeah, completely agree with Robin, and the difference between our planning in the beginning was to we decided to get out from the water, because our thinking was like, we was discussing this and how we do it. Shall we take a walk? We knew it will be from one part, it will be maybe hard because of all the our gear which was packed in the dry bags.
Yeah.
But from the other side, I said, okay, we try to work another muscle parts, but probably. Of course, because it was like that we was not sure how we're gonna manage all this distance to swim, but now we know actually that we could decide to do the same, because it went well, but it was really easy to get injury, because you don't have regular tactical boots on you. You have only some neoprene boots. They are not so strong, so it's easy to get on the sharp stone, or some branches that stick out from the fallen trees. They are very pine woods. They are very hard. They can be very sharp. So we took the risk, but then we decided probably next time, because we knew how it went, and at the end probably we supposed to decide to do the same. But as me actually, I'm not so good swimmer actually, so for me it was anyway, when I heard the distance we're gonna have to swim, I said okay, I probably will want to walk some part. Of course the swimming was the 5 kilometers. But I was thinking to, okay, I take these extra kilometers on the islands, maybe get through, but probably now we should reconsider this. But that was the good, that we now we know that we can, so we can, we can evolve our planning, and then we know how much we can do actually. So. And then the searching, we studied the map, because we knew that the GPS beacon was like approximately 1 kilometer the range, so we tried to plan the route on the search and rescue route. So we was trying to get, between the sections to get like 1 kilometer. So it's like so we try to cover the whole area with our range to the GPS beacon, but we was trying as well not to waste too much time to walk. So we first study a map to see, probably Robin did the same as he said. So we also looked at the map. We try to plan the route, how our route will cover the most of the terrain, so we don't waste time and energy to walk through the terrain that it was already searched, I can say.
Right.
So that was, but yeah, the mission, all this, moments and everything that we have a guy, and then you have to take care about the radar site. You have to disable this, and everything. It's so complete, with all the part of the missions. Everything is so logical that you have, of course, if you have to get the rescue boat to evade you, then you have to disable the radar, because of course the enemy will not know what happened. If someone destroyed it or it just broke, they will investigate. Then you have this time to get out from the hot area.
Exactly. Yeah, because while you guys were operating inside on land after you completed your swimming, you also had each other as opponents, so you could get into firefights and delay each other. So in a worst situation, and this is something that I never can plan, if you guys ever find each other on the battlefield or not. I can just assume, especially at a large area like this. But as I understand, even if the area was large, you guys did find each other, right?
Yep. Yeah, we found, but the situation was like, we let the Trojans pass, and then we tried to keep up with the because we got after this, because we was in the range of the GPS beacon. We tried to follow them as much as possible, so we tried to find them actually.
Right. Of course, yeah. So this was just one long mission that you guys were exposed to. What did you find, Dominic, was the most difficult part of the whole mission?
Same as for Robin, the swimming part, the distance, that it's the middle of the night, and that was the I can totally say it was the scariest moment. Even if we decide to do it, it was like how it will go. When we got to the shore, then we was like feel okay. Now we gear up, and now we take a rest. We took some food, we took the rest, gear up, and then we continue on the mission. Then it was like more or less it was easier for us because it's, of course, the land is most familiar for us. But so the swimming part, that was the most difficult for all of my team. We felt the same, approximately, that the swimming was the most difficult part. But the thing is, of course, after this distance, it's easy to break, too easy to, like, say, to give up, because we were very tired at the end when we get to the shore. So there is this moment that you have to challenge your mental weaknesses, and then, okay, no, I'm tired, but okay, now we're on the shore, we eat up, take some rest, and then we continue. Then it will be better. So, like, try to get all the time, try to get the positive thinking, like, try to don't get the bad minds into the head, because then you start to find excuses to give up. Try to find all the time. We try to find the reason to continue. Then it's as long as you do this, you can do a lot. But when you start to finding excuses to not do something, then it will be difficult. Probably it's just you can fail the mission, actually.
Yeah, true. I understand. From my part, to say to you guys and everybody that's listening, that I designed this mission. The sole purpose is, of course, multiple knowledge and experience gathering for especially for you guys. First of all the breaking part here is throwing a mission at you that seems, in theory, impossible. These tremendous and vast distance ranging of swimming. It's like, are we ever going to finish? How are things? So much can go wrong during the way. What will happen with me? What will happen with my gear? What will happen with my teammates? Etc. So the knowledge part that you guys have to pick up while performing a stunt like this, and at the end, the whole win situation, that, okay, we pulled through, and you can withdraw the consequences of the experience, and then you can learn how to handle your gear, how to handle yourself mentally, how to take care of yourself physically after you come out of the water, because this whole transition thing between land and water, also, when it comes, it's not only that it's time consuming, but it's also energy consuming, but it's a part of it, because while you are inside water, I would say, or argue for, that being in water is easier than being on land, because water carries you, lifts you up. You do not have to carry your own gear. The water does it for you. So if you have a very heavy backpack that floats, the water you can just drag it along. So it in a sense, for me, and my experience is that, for me, it's easier to be in water going longer distances than being on land.
Yeah, that was very, very clear when we had made the long swim, when we were going up on land. I think I've never felt so heavy before in my entire life. We crawled onto a rock and tried to stand up, but it was almost impossible. It was like your body had been adjusted to being in water. You just felt like you tried to stand up, and it was like, I have no muscles left. I'm too heavy. I felt like I was about 300 kilos. I was how are we gonna do this? We can't continue if we can't stand up. So that was a funny part.
Yeah, that people might think that, oh, it's a couple of kilometers in water. Just take it, sign up for it, because it will be easy at the end. You will save energy at the same time. You will consume some, but it will be relaxing. It's just when you get up on land and you put on your backpack, you realize, oh my God, it's so heavy.
Yeah, I think we crawled about we crawled for like 5-6 minutes before you could even stand up.
Yeah, it is difficult, but you guys did a great job with it. So what was the biggest learning part for you guys? What do you say, Dominic? With that?
You know, the learning part for us was that that we can do more than we think. So just not to hesitate. You know, it's you know, we knew that physically we managed to do it. So it was like just take the advantage and just do it. And the was, well, what can I say more, you know, about this? It was basically most about you can do it. You can do it if you, like Robin said, if you can't walk, crawl, but try to get your forward.
Right.
So that's the most important, you know. And as I said, if you prepare well, then there is nothing that, well, that this kind of mission you can complete, even if you are a regular guy, if you are prepared a little bit physically and especially mentally. Don't give up, just keep on going, then it will be fine.
True.
Yeah, I think just as Dominic says, don't overthink things before you do it. I think that's what I used to do, and I think that's what many people do. Is when you get a task, you overthink it, you run it through your mind, you think, okay, I'm gonna do this and this. No, it's impossible. I can't do that. I know my barriers. I know I cannot do that. And try not to overthink stuff. Just embrace it, try to prepare for it, and you do your best. If you don't succeed, then you don't succeed. It's not a really bad thing because you tried it, and I think most of the times you can do it. It's just don't overthink it. Just try it, and hopefully you make it. That was the case for me. As I said, I was gonna doubt myself. If someone gonna say, can you swim 200 meters in this swimming pool? I would say probably not, because I'm not a swimmer. And so for me, it was almost hard to reach, hard to see myself be able to do it. And then you start to think, and you start to think a little bit more, and you say, no, it's impossible. It can't be done. You have to be a professional swimmer or a professional soldier or something to be able to do it. But it doesn't help you to just think about it. It helps you to actually do it and actually try to do it. And all of a sudden, to this day, I sometimes I don't believe that I actually did it, because it's too far. It's too too advanced. But yeah, so I think that's the best learning point of the mission. That do it, try it. Nothing's gonna happen if you fail. As long as you try.
Exactly.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do to give up without trying. That's the worst thing you can do, basically.
That's awesome. That's great. How did your teams react to all this? How did the talk go within the teams during these missions? The vibe, the lows and the highs, if you know what I mean.
I can start, actually, if it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, there was like all those guys that was able to participate in this event. We was like discussing, okay, we do this on the level 5, that it will be hard, but it was like, you know, it was not discussion, okay, what we had for the mission. There was a small discussion, okay, distance was like quite big and so on, but basically what we was discussing, we start already to analyze how we're gonna do it, how we want to do it, how we're gonna plan.
Right.
Because you know, on that part, we was not hesitating if we want to participate. Right. It was just like, okay, how are we going to prepare, and so on and so on. That was this discussion we took in my team actually. I don't know how it's with Robin.
Yeah, we're always focused on the missions. There's no when we're there, when we're at the game, when we're doing the missions, it's always positive vibes. It's never the negative sides. Of course, we know each other so well in the team. You learn to recognize when you see that someone's getting real tired, someone needs a rest. You learn to see that in people. And when you see that, you take a rest before it gets too bad. Right. And when you, as I said, when you're at the mission, it's everything you talk about is about the mission. It's how do we do it now? How do we succeed? How do we push forward? Right. It's never the question of can we actually make it, or does someone want to go home to the couch and drink beer? Right. It's that doesn't help, because when we're at the game, it's always pushing forward. That's the talk we have, and that's to always advance and always go forward to the mission. And if we need to rest, we take a rest, because of course we're no superhumans. We need a rest. We need it badly. And there's not much time for rest at these games, of course. But when we feel that we have some time over, we always rest. As soon as we have half an hour, we go to sleep as fast as possible, because we need it. And I think it's more a question about if you get like a negative attitude in the team, or if it starts to feel like this is gonna be really, really hard. I think it's more about we need a little bit more rest, then we can carry on.
Because I never plan for rest. I start an event.
We know.
Okay. Thanks for the feedback. No, but I start get the ball rolling, and we do not stop for rest or anything until Sunday. And that is a conscious choice, because I want you guys to be able to handle the missions at your level, which means that planning rest, not only missions, planning the rest for you and your team is also a part of the planning process, which means that you have to take care of that part and see the ups and downs in your teams. And I try to give enough time for missions, but also not too much time, if you know what I'm trying to say. We don't want to be too much rested, but we don't want to be too much tired either. So the point is that if a team is too rested, then the mission is too slow, or it's too easy. Then we are not working effectively, then we are just sleeping, and then we are not solving problems. So, and sleep deprivation is a part of a soldier's life. You are never rested. When you are sitting and doing nothing, then you're doing nothing, and suddenly you've been there for 2 hours, and then somebody comes screaming, and now you're suddenly in a hurry. But we have been sitting here for 2 hours. So it's always either you're in a hurry or you don't have anything to do. So that planning part of missions, I always hand that part out to team officers to handle. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's exactly as you say. The game doesn't stop for like 4 hours because everyone needs to rest. You have to do the planning, and you have to do it wisely. You have to think about if we go to sleep right now for 2 hours, what will the other team do? Will they keep going? Will they have an advantage if they don't sleep right now? So that's, and I think that's, of course, it's all of the team members, of course, have their say, but as the team leader, you have to see how everyone feels. What can we do in this state? Are we too tired to actually do something productive? If we take 2 hours and walk, will we walk 1 kilometer? Then it's better that we go to sleep right now, so we can walk 3-4 kilometers in 2 hours next. So that's always, it's a thin line to get it right with the rest. Of course, you want your team members to be to get as much rest as you possibly can, but at the same time you can't sleep for 5-6 hours every time, because then we would never be able to complete the missions. We would be stuck at the first mission by the end of the Sunday. So you always have to, it's a great, you have to plan it very, very well to get it working with everything.
Yeah, and that's the part of level 5 also, to not stop for anything. That at that level you should be able to at least handle time and handle your part of the team.
Yeah.
What do you say, Dominic?
Yeah, I completely agree with Robin. We had this exactly same feeling, about, okay, do they rest or do they continue the mission because they want to be more advanced, get advantage in the mission, that this kind of thoughts. But from the other side, we discussed, okay, if we are tired, they're probably tired as well. So they're gonna have to eat. They're gonna have to maybe take some rest to get the power back, and then probably they will not probably continue. So and then of course we have this discussion. Okay, how we are feeling. I always ask how we are feeling. If someone feel that he wants to take some more rest or whatever, if it's possible, then we can do it, of course. But the thing is, of course, you have to try to get your team as even prepared with the physical, mental, not maybe not, but physical, at least physical strength that we have to try to be at approximately same level, that we can that we are like same much tired, and then so we don't have to wait for one guy to because he needs sleep now for 3-4 hours. Right. That's the point. That's why when we signed up for level 5, I discussed with the guys, if you will sign up, you will have to follow up. Of course, we're gonna take a rest, we're gonna take a food and so on, but we're gonna have the time, the pressure of time, which we are not able to fight with. We have to keep the mission plan. So we have to be enough prepared to follow the plan. In other case, we will not succeed. That's the point. They try to get the team as much as even as it's possible to with all the preparation with both physical, with equipment and so on.
Right. As you mentioned equipment, what do you think, especially newcomers or players overall, even experienced ones, when it comes to boating, weapons, and the equipment in general at the marine event like this? What do you feel is the most important thing, and how should you plan for the equipment part?
I think you only do it wrong one time. You learn after the first time. If you get all your gear, all your packing soaking wet, then you learn. You won't do that mistake again. And it's actually not that hard to dry pack everything that you have. Right. It can be done with, you don't have to buy the most expensive dry bag. You don't have to have expensive equipment. The only thing you need to is need to have is 2 plastic bags, and you can dry pack everything.
Yeah.
And that's as I said, you only do it wrong one time, because it's not fun to, like after the swim, if when you're gonna change and put on your trousers and your jacket, it's not fun if they are soaking wet.
No.
Because you will be destroyed. So you have to keep your things dry, of course, and that's by small means you can do it with every kind of backpack. Only to take 2 plastic bags around everything. I do it myself, and then I take a big what do you say, sopsäck, a big like a bigger trash bag or
plastic bag.
Yeah, so I take plastic bags, and then in the big trash bag, and then in the backpack, and then I know everything will be dry. So it's not that hard.
No.
But it's very, very important.
Oh yeah.
If you miss out on something on your jacket, it will be soaking wet for the whole game, and it will get you cold instead of warm.
Yeah. Dominic?
Yeah, as Robbie said, you don't need to super expensive gear, but if you don't have it, which is waterproof and so on, then you have to prepare for the water mission. As like Robbie said, like a double pack with the plastic and so on. You can buy, I use this IKEA selling this small plastic bags with a zip.
Oh yeah.
Like a zip. They work for me pretty well. I did, for example, for the most sensible thing, like underwear, like warm clothes, like this kind of stuff. I usually put into the there is a different sizes. Put in, pressed. I try to close the zip almost all the way, then I press everything, press out the air, and then zip it off. Then I see if it's sealed. After a while I can see that it's still compressed, then it means it didn't get in any air. And then of course again more bags and plastic and duct tape, all everything what can provide you to not get water into your gear. If it's good. We use the dry bags, extra plastic bags, and even the duct tape, to tape all the ceilings and all the things that can get water through. So right. It's basically this. If you prepare, you don't need to, like, of course you can imagine how much it costs you, like all the headsets and radios which is military use, that it can be actually in the water and so on. Of course we don't have this kind of money, so we have to just extra prepare our regular equipment, radios, and all this stuff, especially the rifles. You can buy like a airsoft rifle which operates only with gas, and then it's no electronic in it. Then right. It's perfect. Then you can swim with it, and then you can shoot it from the water. But if you don't have it, I have the rifle which has some electronic that control the rifle. But I just packed really well. I try to make this as sealed as possible. Then it was no problem. I had no problem at all at Eagle to get, even if it got some water inside the backpack. It was nothing scary, because and anyway I put like a double plastic bags on all my gear, so it was not really critical for this amount of water. I don't know, like maybe 100 milliliter, maybe 150 milliliter. It's nothing happened because everything was like a double packed with the plastic and secured.
You shouldn't trust your backpack just because it's a dry backpack. There will be water in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. So there was no real issues with the weapons, because I think that most people would be concerned regarding the weapons and water. So
it's
just
not
like
a big problem.
Just to prepare. Even if you have a regular AG, basically the regular AG, it's mostly the easy, because if you have some MOSFETs and some electronics, this could be like a crucial part in the rifle. But as I said, if you prepare it well, nothing should happen. You know, if some players that have this kind of rifle and they play in the rain, sometimes when it's raining and so on, of course the electronics is inside the rifle. Of course the water will not get so easy to it. So you probably, if you play with your rifle on the small rain, maybe not the storm or something, but if it's raining, soaking and so on, then it's no problem for this rifle to prepare it well to transport through the water in the marine operation.
Yeah.
If you have a rifle that's very that's not good for rain, I think you should start playing indoors instead of outdoors.
Exactly.
Indoors marine event.
Yeah, exactly. In the bathtub.
No, but you could, even if you don't want to buy maybe a gas rifle, you could always go with your sidearm when you're close to the coastline and you're going in and out of water. You could have a gas blowback sidearm which you could use to operate.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just to have some protection for it. How do you guys feel about the boating part? How is it working? I know that we use inflatables. I provide normally 2 boats, one rib and one SIB soft inflatable boat. I'm not familiar with your boating experiences with neither of your teams. So can you say a couple of words with that regarding boating? Maybe you can start, Robin.
Yeah, sure. We have our own boat, and we have our captain, who is taking care of the boat. Myself, I don't know much about boats. Sure, I can drive the boat if necessary, but we have the captain in our team who is more or less every time he drives the boat, and we take turns helping with the mapping and with the plotting and looking for rocks on the what do you call it, the plotter, or
right, chart plotter.
Yeah, so we take turns and we help out each other. Everyone needs to be involved when you're in the boat, of course. Because it's one mistake, then you're out of the game.
Right.
If you crash the boat to a rock that's under the water, you have huge problems. So everyone needs to be alert, and everyone needs to have their mission, even if it's just like a passage. You're going to go from one island to another. It's important. Someone needs to check for, of course, for enemies. If they see something suspicious, someone has to drive the boat, someone has to navigate the boat, and someone has to look in the water, because everything is not on the boat GPS, all the rocks. Someone has to watch for that manually too.
Yeah.
So it's it's not just taking a boat ride.
Right.
It's exactly. You have to do it properly, because otherwise you will have some real problems.
Yeah, I mean, as I normally say to you guys, is that it's important to have task delegation when you're in the boat. That one guy is operating the engine, one guy is navigating, the other guy is on a lookout for maybe enemy patrols, other boats, and if necessary, you have an extra navigator to check position. Use different kind of methods to check position. Use a GPS if you have one, but even those can fail, and you have to check your position manually also to confirm that the GPS is correct. And that it's, as you say, it's not just a boat ride. It's also a special skill set that you have to adopt while you are on these missions. Normally, when
we of course we always start with even if it's a short boat ride we're gonna take, we always check the wind direction. We check for possible entries when we get there. Before we even get in a boat, we have to check, is this a possible angle to get into? Where does the wind come from? Where does the waves come from? Where would be the best place to park the boat when we get there? Which side do we want to be on? so that's also, before you even step into the boat, you have to have a plan. You can't jump in the boat, start taking away, and then halfway there you're gonna start asking the questions. Where are we gonna park it? Where are we gonna um, where are we gonna go into land? You can't take that when you're halfway there. You have to have the plan before.
And of course
that's important.
It's a navigational part and also a tactical part to it. Where are we going to put the boat? Can the boat be spotted from offshore? Will it be seen by enemy forces that we have landed on the beach here, etc., etc.?
Exactly.
So it's not just boating, and that's also what I feel is the nice part of marine airsofting. That it has this different dimension to it.
It's not a smart idea to hide on an island if there's a boat. If your boat is just dangling outside, it's quite a big sign that someone's here. Hello.
Yeah, exactly. Or you have to camouflage it or drag it up on land, or so it a lot of things to think about. And you don't have these things in at regular soft events on land. So that's why also Eagle is a great opportunity to adopt new skill sets, to find a different dimension to airsofting.
Yeah.
What do you say, Dominic, regarding boating?
Yeah, we don't have any boat. None of us have it. So it was also something very new. But the good thing was like this the knowledge we got before, which I mentioned about the classroom and so on.
Yeah.
You know, when you put us to the navigation mission, you was the driver of the boat. We was supposed to navigate to the point. It's, you know, from that point it was much easier because we knew at least how to start to calculate. Okay, we could make the mistake, of course, but it was easier. It was easier for us, for example, to calculate and navigate, and we was you start to think about different kind of stuff, like which way you should take, or you take the more concealed between, for example, big and small island, but then it's a risk because of the rocks that can stick out from the water. Then it will affect your speed. So maybe you will be concealed by enemy patrol or whatsoever. So so you have to decide which way you choose. If you take the fastest way, much more safe, maybe a little bit more on open, but during the time it will take less time to be exposed, and then it's less risk to maybe damage the propeller on the boat, for example. Then the mission will be failed automatically because you're out of your transport. So but thanks to this knowledge we got before, and we're getting all the time, you know, it makes it much easier to think and plan, you know. And then everybody in the team can also make like okay, maybe we do this, maybe this. So we small discussion, and then I for example I decide, okay, we do this and this, and then, you know, all this calculating part, you know, to navigate, to give the navigation point and so on, and the calculated time, and when we got the speed of the boat and so on. In this case, we managed actually pretty well when we had the mission to navigate to the point, to this small bay that we're supposed to get. It was our job. We actually, thanks to this all the knowledge we got before, we actually managed to calculate and to navigate to the point, and exactly the time we was calculating, we got in this time to this point, and with no obstacles, no problems on the way and so on. So it was really successful and really fun to do, especially when you success, and it's even feels much better. Of course, if you make mistake, no problem. Then the thing is, with all the mistakes, you know, you learn of them. If you make some mistake, okay, this and this we have to make better, or there is some things with which you have to think about during the planning and so on. But in this case, it shows up that if you get the right knowledge and you know how to use it, you will success.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and that's how I also try to help you out, guys in the boat. When I see that if there is a part that you really haven't thought of, then I try to ask the questions. How is this handled, or how is this done? And then I know that you have the knowledge, and because everybody's tired and we have to help out each other. And that way, I know that you guys even did a sea trial with the boat, because there is a difference of operating a speed boat with one person inside or having a whole team that weighs it down. Because let's say that one person with gear is 100 kilos. And if you have 8-9 people inside the boat, that's almost a ton extra in the boat. So questions occur like, okay, you know that the boat does maybe 20 knots. Yeah, but how fast does it go with an extra ton inside it? So I know that you guys did sea trials, etc. And how did that go for you guys regarding all this practical stuff that you did in the boat?
We try to first see how fast the boat can go, and then based on this we could calculate, so we knew how much we can actually go with this boat. So we have this knowledge, then it was much easier, and then completing with all the other knowledge and our experience, we try to make this best. And then it was it was great, because it always it was like good challenge, because it was really nice to see if we can actually do it. So it was really nice.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so it's for those that are listening, it's good to know that boating is not just boating. It's also something more. It's let's call it tactical boating, because you said a lot of good points there. You have to choose your route, because the way you choose to travel, day, night, affects the outcome of will you make it or not. Because if you have a sniper on a faraway island that's just waiting for you, then you're in a tough situation to make decisions. Everything affects. Yeah, so I think. But is there anything else you guys want to say about boating?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if there is something else. No, I don't think so. It was the most of our feelings and experience. The basically I said probably.
Bring a rain poncho.
Yeah, that's a really good. It really can get wet in the boat, even outside the water.
It does get wet in the boat.
It does get wet in the boat.
Yeah,
it does. And then maybe we should just mention a couple of words about the repelling part. How do you guys feel about that?
Robin, you'd like to start with this?
Yeah, sure. The repelling part it's also one of those things that we've been offered to do before. We've been offered to do it, I think, 2 or 3 times. Every time I've said no. I've said, you're a maniac. It's not natural to actually walk out of a cliff. It's something you do when you're not feeling well. It's not something you should do for fun. So for me, it's been a barrier. I couldn't see myself doing it. It was so far away from what I believe is normal, what people should do. But in this game, I think, as beforehand, as I said, I was determined to do the swimming part, and when I did that, I thought, why should I not do the repelling part? It's just nonsense to say no now. So yeah, we strapped up and started walking down a cliff. And yeah, it's a bit scary when you get to the edge and you have to lean your back out to I don't remember, is it a 30-meter fall or so yeah, of course it's scary, but it's not for me it was not so scary as I would have imagined it would be. It was easier than I thought it would be. So again, very proud of myself for actually just doing it, not overthinking it, not coming up with excuses for why not to do it. And this time everyone in our team did it, which I'm very proud of. We were 3 out of 4 that hadn't done it before, who said no before. And this time everyone did it, and everyone was very happy that they did it. You could see on everyone's faces that it was like both a relief that you actually done it, and everyone was holding their head up a little bit higher. And yeah, I did it. It was everyone was proud of themselves. It was I think for the team it was a great moment.
Yeah, it was. It was nice to see the development that you guys actually took the opportunity to push yourselves mentally over the edge. And the whole point with these roping tasks that you have, first of all, of course, I want you to have the knowledge, because then I can plan more advanced missions in the future. Because same thing there. If I don't have the right people to do stuff, or if I don't have people that know how to do stuff, then there's no point for me to plan stuff either. So then we lose the curve of development. But in general, why I have added roping or abseiling or repelling as it's called is because the same reason why people jump out of an airplane with a parachute. You want to at one point you want to cheat death. I mean, if you just also again, if you take the whole situation out of context, if you just take a person and say that, okay, I'm going to jump out of this airplane at 4,000 meters, it sounds really insane. That's really not normal. But at the end, you get the thrill and you want to cheat death and you get a kick out of it, and you want to do it again because it's so much fun also. And it's so, as you said, unnatural and not normal and not an everyday experience. But the most important thing is that I can deliver a point where the only chance for me to see how you react in a real battle situation when you actually face death is by exposing you to a life-threatening situation in a safe way. So when I ask you, first of all, what I do is that I put you in a position where you have to trust me with your life. Because I tie the ropes for you, I own the equipment, so you have to trust me with your life. And that's what you have to do in a battle situation. And since we are at military experience level here, where we want to experience real situations as close as it can get as possible to the real thing, then a situation like this is a natural step in our evolution of military experience gaming, where we do stuff out of the ordinary. If you want to do the ordinary, that's regular airsoft. But as we say, when people ask me what is Mil.Ex, the concept that we practice, the only ones that practice Mil.Ex, I say that Mil.Ex is military experience with a touch of airsoft. Regular airsofting is airsofting with maybe a touch of military lifestyle. Totally the opposite. So that's the whole different part of it. That's why we're doing this. I want you to experience how to trust your teammate when your life is in danger, and also how do you react when your life is in danger? And then repelling is a perfect tool to actually practice and put people in those situations and experience them. Plus that we get the knowledge how to get over a cliff and not see it as an obstacle or see it as a short way down, and hopefully save some energy, because if you're in high terrain where you have a lot of cliffs or everything, or you have to work with, then maybe going down the cliff, if that's an option and it saves you time, and do it. I say, why not, if you know how to. Dominic, what is your same question as Robin got before?
Yes. Well, I was really excited. I was, there is always like this little bit scare, but of course, if you see how it's prepared, we was helping you to prepare all the stuff. We saw it how it's done. I was really sure that nothing wrong will happen.
Yeah.
I was a bit scared, of course. Everybody. Only if you don't scare, then you're a madman. But if you control this, if you can overcome this fear, then it's great. Funny that you mentioned this parachute jump, because actually I did it like 2 months before Eagle. I made my first 4,000 meters parachute jump. So I knew the I was scared, I was excited and scared at the same time. But when I jumped off the airplane, it was just awesome.
Yeah.
It was great experience, and it was the same here. When you come to the edge, then you see, you have a, top of the trees. They are still couple meters below you. And you look down and it's, oh shit, it's high, but but then just continue. I felt it's really really nice. I was actually way much scared about the water than the height. But some of the guys, we have one guy actually which has the height, this, he's scared of height,
right?
And but he overcome this. He went down. He do this, in his own way, a little bit slower, but he did it. He fought his phobia. So it was great to see him down. He said, okay, it was scary, but I did it. It was, it's possible to do it. Even if you have some this kind of stuff, like you're afraid of height or whatsoever.
Right.
It's possible to overcome. If you trust the equipment, if you trust the people that they are around you and preparing the stuff, then just to try to, then you have to fight your head only. You don't have to do anything else. But it was, it's of course it's a very stressful situation. It's really hard to focus on something else. You are focused only on this what you're doing. So but experience itself, it was really good. Most of the guys was yeah, we do it, and then was after this, he said they used many of juicy Polish words to express themselves how scary it was. But actually they was happy. They were happy that they did it. And then we did it again, but with the face down. So it was like, this was the best example that you can, if you can go backwards, with the back down, then you can of course go with the face down as well.
Yeah.
This was much more scary for me. It was much more scary than, or maybe it's some way more difficult that went the backwards. But it was really awesome, because the thing is, when you are face down, you see how high you are.
Yeah.
You see it all the time. That's this you have to overcome.
Yeah.
Because when you're backward, okay, you look down, okay, it's high, okay, but I focus on the on the equipment. I look on the wall where I should put my when I should put my feet and so on. then you don't see the what is down there. But when you go face down, then it's totally different point of view, I can say. But it was really awesome. We did whole team did it, and we was really happy with that.
That's nice. Yeah, because when you're going Aussie style face down, then it's in your face all the time. You can, or you decide to close your eyes, but then the whole experience disappears. So it's a totally different animal when you turn around.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody knows that. I mean, we did 20 meters now maybe, but everybody knows this. You always have that in your mind that, okay, if I drop from here, then I'm most likely dead or really badly injured. But we as we say, we trust the equipment and we know what we're doing, and I've been doing this since 1997. But still, I have the respect for heights and for the equipment, and hopefully nothing will happen. And we use double systems, so in case one breaks, then you will always have the other one to lean back on. So
what I think it was good that we was with you when everything was when we was preparing everything. You know, everybody could see it, how we checked the ropes and all the equipment, everything. You know, it's not like you know, some place where you go for jump for a bungee or something. You don't know, it's already there. You know, you don't know how it was prepared, how it was attached, and so on. Here we was with all this process. We see it. It was even better for us to understand how safe it is, even if the rope is like, you know, thickness of your thumb or maybe thinner, but it still will hold you with no problems. Exactly. And of course it was like extra secure and so on. So it was really good.
Then you maybe you know how scary it was for us. Can you imagine if your enemy was the one tying the ropes? When we got there, all we know was the enemy was tying the ropes. And we had to go out.
But at the same time we checked the lines before you, so it was everything checked, you know, already. So no worries.
So you really had to go through a difficult time there, Robin, I understand.
Yeah, it was a whole other experience.
Totally different. Yeah. I'm impressed that you still did it.
Yeah. So are we.
That's awesome. How would you say, guys, to those that are listening, how should they prepare for something like Operation Eagle?
I can start with it.
Okay.
Yes, you start, Dominic.
Yeah. Well, you know, if we talk about the people that already playing airsoft and have some, you know, from my point of view, it's if you're, you know, taking care about your body, if you train a little bit, you know, like of course they are you know, level 5 or ssmg events. They are, you need to prepare, at least from my point of view, you have to prepare physically. The big part is to handle the physical, because it's a lot of swimming, walking, and you know, all, you know, these tactical situations that want to make you stress and even more tired. With equipment, of course, if you have all this stuff you use for the like sleeping bags and all this stuff, then of course it's the same. You don't have to have any super duper equipment. It's not that. What I can recommend for someone who wants to try it, if they have some experience in airsoft and some tactical gear, then just to prepare. I prepared myself physically, you know, like running a little bit, training, and stuff like this. Plus, it was not thinking about the Eagle, because at that time I didn't know. But now 5 years in a row, I jump into the cold water in the winter to make my body stronger. So this even was, you know, that's from my point of view as well. It was like I was even less scared about the temperature, because I usually get into the water when it's like 3, 4, 5 degrees, and then I stay there for like 10, 12 minutes, So I know how my body reacts for the cold water. Then this was not scary. It was more physical. If I will manage to swim, that's why I suggest to prepare you physically. It's probably some of the or most of the players they do something more or less. When I talk with the people, some people are training on the gym, some people they're running because when you have this kind of hobby, you will have to run in the forest less or more, but you try to keep up the form. If there is some event that is more challenging, then of course you prepare a little bit extra. But from my point of view, it's nothing scary if you prepare in advance, a little bit physically. Equipment, of course, if you have it, prepare it for if you talk about the marine operation, prepare to get this not to get wet. And then mentally, the thing is, because some people, as Robin said before, some people probably are not participating because if they read what's about the events at SSMG, oh shit, it's good, maybe not, it's too difficult for me, and so on. It's not so as we said before. We are regular guys with families, with a regular job, carpenters or truck drivers and so on. Most of it's also the mental part. Just you have to will to try. Then you'll see it's fun, I think.
Yeah, that's good. Some physical challenge will always be present, and my job, from my perspective, is, I think I mentioned it earlier also, but I will not only challenge you physically, like have you swimming or walking distances for special reasons, but also I will try to challenge you mentally, like for a repelling session, or where you will start doubting yourself in a different way. So it's this. I try to bring in this whole spectra of mental, physical, where you are pending back and forward all the time, and throw in knowledge at the same time, and then hopefully we can make better games of the whole thing. What do you say, Robin? How should the people prepare for something like Operation Eagle?
I think it's cheating if you train beforehand. Actually, I can say honestly for myself, I don't train. I don't train regularly. I play floorball with my job once a week. That's the training I do. So training beforehand is just cheating, Dominic, and I think you should have a penalty in the next game for it. No, but it's just it's not. I think of course it's an advantage if you do it. If you're in great physical condition, it's of course it's an advantage. But I don't think it's not crucial if you can do it or not. As I said before, I think the mental part is the big part, and I think someone who's not training every day, or someone training once a week, can be a much better field operator than someone who trains every day, because what we do in the field is not something that you usually do on your when you're out running in the woods. You're out running for 40 minutes, maybe an hour, if you're good. When we're out in the field, sometimes we're walking for 20 hours. You don't do that. It's as I said, if you're gonna, when you're home and you say, I'm just going out for a walk with the dog, and you come back the day after, that's something strange. That's not something that you do. So, but yeah, of course, it's an advantage if you train beforehand, but it's not completely necessary. I think what you need is the mental part, and you don't know your mental status or how you react to things unless you try it. And that's something that you learn about yourself when you're out there. When it's freezing cold in the middle of the night and you're out in the woods, you don't really know. You start asking questions to yourself. Why am I here? Why do I think this is fun? I don't see the fun part right now because I'm freezing. We're alone in the woods. No one knows where we are. You have a hard time seeing the fun parts, and I think that that's something that you have to experience to know how you react to it. And the only way you can do that is to try it.
Yeah.
And I know today we're talking about Mil.Ex. We're talking about the toughest levels. I think we should also say that SSMG offers, for those who hasn't done, we've, as we said, we've done a journey of me and Dominic of 7 years. Trojans has been in 12 years, but we have been evolving every year. We have done all the steps. When we started, we wasn't doing this stuff.
No.
So I think that's important to say too. If someone wants to try it, of course there are some easier levels, and you can talk to Sultan if you want to talk to me or to Dominic. That can be arranged too if someone wants to join our team on some missions. We have some people done that before. So I don't think no one should be scared of what we're saying today, because your first game won't be a 5-kilometer swim in the middle of the night followed up by a 27-kilometer walk, your first mission.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Unless you sign up for it immediately and you think you can handle it.
Yeah, but my advice is don't. Start with something easier.
Yeah, exactly. And you make a good point there, because through SSMG I even offer teams educational parts where we book a whole weekend, a whole game area, and we can take it step by step. We don't have the battlefield stress that's taken away. We can do all these moments that we've talked about and go through them one by one. We can all live at the campsite. We sleep, we eat at the same place, cook our foods, and we focus on education. And the whole point is not being tired or physically challenged. The whole point then is to subtract the knowledge, the know-how to do stuff.
Yeah, and I know you also offer, as I know you helped some people that were new to the game, like with home exercises. I think for many people it's just to go out in the woods at night and sleep in the woods. I think that's a big step for the average man, to actually go out in the pitch dark woods. You're all alone and lay down and sleep. I think that's a big step for many people, and once you do that, it's not strange to do it anymore. It's just I can honestly say I've had the best sleeps in my life in the woods. We do it not on SSMG games, of course, because that's not so long sleeps. But our team goes out sometimes in the woods, have some fun. Sometimes we play some airsoft for a couple of hours. Then we make like a barbecue, and then we sleep in the woods. And that's if you're lying on some branches and you're lying on some rocks, and that's perfect for your back and everything.
It's good.
You wake up to the sound of the birds, and it's really great. But of course, new players should you start pretty easy, and then all of a sudden you're in the middle of a lake in the middle of the night, without knowing really what happened.
It's like, how the hell did I get here?
This what Robin said. Actually, we have a new guy in the team, which joined us like I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 months before the Eagle, and he was with us. He went with us on a few like 1 day, like 8-10 hour events, and then he said, "Oh shit, I like it. I want to join you," and so on. He was not well. This what I can confirm what Robin said actually about the mental way. He was not experienced with this. He was like, he liked a little bit kayak and paddling and so on. A little bit like, I knew him from before, because we jumping into the water during the winters together, and then he decided to try to do it. okay, he was like in 2 small events, and then we said, okay, if you want to try yourself really, it's upcoming the Operation Eagle. We goes on the level 5, so it's the highest level. If you want to, he said, oh shit, I don't know if I can manage. I said, you will. I will tell. We're gonna tell you how to prepare, and you will be with us. You will manage. You know, he managed this, and I met him today actually. I met him today, and he asked me, you know, when the SSMG will arrange the next event. I said, yeah, the next upcoming is the Yeti. He said, I really. He loved to this kind of. He said, you know, shooting like one day or few hours, okay, it's nice, but when you are exposed for the cold, when you are tired, getting hungry, you know, you sleepy and so on, you know, then you prove yourself what you can do. You know, he said it was so good. You know, it was his first big event, and then it was like Eagle level 5. You know, it's the highest level you can get, and he managed. Actually, he went really well, I must say. He managed to, from the tactical point of view as well, was no complaining. He managed physically. And you know, the mentally, we told you will manage, no worries, you don't have to be scared about what will happen. You will see, it will be fine. And then so okay, all right, we do this, and we did it, and he did it. So it's a really good example that the guy which just get into the hobby, the airsoft. You know, he was just regular guy. He's an electrician, you know, he has run his own company, and he decided to join, and he managed. So it's like Robin said, you know, it was about if we should say, okay, if you're not sure, then maybe you should not. I said, okay, you will manage. You don't have to hesitate. Don't hesitate. Just think that you want to try it and you want to do it, because I said if you do it, then there is no event in or airsoft game in Sweden or Europe that you will not be able to manage, because I was on few, both in Finland, where the guys was in the Czech Republic, was on the games in Poland, and I never seen, at least I never heard and never seen this level on this kind of level of maybe not complicity, but the reality, but but still for possible to get for the regular man. You know, it's nothing for the, you know, it's still not for the special forces soldier. You know, it's still for the regular guy to manage. You only have to only have to say to yourself, I want to do it and I will do it. Then it's easy.
That's awesome. I know this because I'm always a little bit concerned, because I never want people to quit, because that when people quit, that's a loss for us, and that's a loss for them. So I always try to do everything to not have people quitting. But when I knew that your new guy was with you guys, then I was sure that he was in safe hands, for sure. But that's also a thing to assist people when they find themselves in a difficult situation, and they can receive the proper help that they need to actually pull through. And that is satisfying for you as a team leader, and that is satisfying for me as a host. And at the end, it's also a satisfying experience for the new guy. And that's why we have to stick together and help each other, because those that are new out there that really want to try this or want to join, they have to know that we are on their side. We are not there to challenge them and prove that this is impossible for them to reach. The whole point is to get people to like what they're doing and see sides of military life that otherwise you would have to join the military to take part of it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that this is not something that you that you sit on a Friday night and suddenly you think, oh, maybe I'll go out and swim tonight and then walk. And then it doesn't happen. You can't do this yourself. You have to sign up for these games to get this kind of experience and to challenge yourself both physically and mentally. It's not something that will happen automatically with you. Or, you have to try it.
That's the only way. I can sum it up in my head also, and it's hard, but let's say like this, put it out this way. Why would you guys recommend Operation Eagle to anybody? You can start, Robin.
Why I would recommend Operation Eagle.
Or why not?
Well, the why not is I have a lot. No, but of course I can tell you this. I usually when I speak to it's hard to speak with people about it because you experience stuff that's very hard to explain for people that hasn't been in the same situations. I mean, as I said, for most it's a huge step to go out in the woods and sleep in the woods for a night, and to then explain for them to start with a swim in the middle of the night and then do the walk and with the no sleep and the continue. You just continue. You walk. You all that you do. It's very hard to explain, but I think as I mostly explain it, it's like running a marathon.
Yeah.
It's not fun all the time, but in the end, when you finish and you look back on what you just did, what you just achieved, you raise your head up and you're feeling pretty awesome. I know Dominic said before, I'm not a half god, but in those moments you actually feel like a half god.
You do. Exactly.
On what you accomplished, and often still for me, I think before every game, I think how are we gonna do this? This is almost impossible. But then you do it, and you struggle, and you have your ups and downs along the game. As I said, sometimes you just sit there, you're cold, and everything is shit. But you still continue, and after when the game is done, you don't remember those bad parts. You remember the good parts, and you're very proud of yourself for keep going, for keep struggling, for everything that you've done. So I mean, for that boost for yourself, for your self-esteem, for your ego, I would say you're a fool if you don't try it.
That's good.
Because it's something that you carry with you. You carry it with you on daily basis, on your job. You carry it with you in your personal life. That it's almost like you're Superman. You can rip off your shirt and you have your Superman uniform under it, because you don't go out and because you can't brag about it because no one will understand what you do. But inside that I am capable of doing things that most people aren't, or that most people don't even try. And I'm capable of doing those and succeeding with those. I think all of that, I think that should be reason enough to at least try it. If everyone don't like it, but if you find out that you like it in the middle of the night, then it would be almost like life-changing moments. I've had some of the nicest moments when you see the sunrise after a 20-hour walk and you lay down and you see the sunrise. I mean, that's not something that you do every day.
No.
So all of these moments, and if you already have a team, I can say it's great for the team. You will look at each other with other eyes after doing these games. You know that all of these individuals are ready to go that extra mile for you. You do it together. I mean, just a small gesture like I have my last energy bar, or my teammate has the last energy bar. We don't have any more food, and he decides to chop it up in equal pieces so everyone gets a piece. I mean, that's like getting a car in some situations. It's like the nicest thing you can do. So for the team, if you already have a team, it's a great experience. It would keep you much closer to each other.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So that's why.
That's why. That really sums it up pretty good. That's awesome. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And you have to be there to know what it's all about, and to get all these small life-changing events that really can happen for you. It's hard to describe, but if you're not on board and you're not there, you are preventing yourself from ever experiencing such a thing.
No.
And definitely, the only medicine is to join and see what it's all about. You maybe don't like it in the beginning, but maybe you can learn to love it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Dominic, what do you have to say? Why should anybody?
I regret that I let Robin talk first, because he said everything what I had on my mind, even when he started talking about, the team building and so on. And I was thinking even this, sharing the food. And then he said about the counter, this protein bar or energy bar. It's exactly the thing, because, it's because probably we have totally same feelings, especially when you're in team. It's a great way to see how much you as a team has worth. When you are tired, you are marching in the tactical march. You're focused, and then you have to choose the way through the woods. Not always goes the straight line. Sometimes you have to go around, or you have to open field. You have to go around to not expose yourself. So you put extra kilometers, and then everybody has to understand or need to understand that we do this because of the tactical situation and so on. So then you see if someone will start to be angry, start to arguing or not. That's the best way to see what kind of people you are in your team. You have in your team. Yeah. It's easy to go on one day event. Then of course everybody will be happy and thumbs up and so on. But when you have your guys like from, for example, Eagle, like from Wednesday night to Sunday morning. Yeah. In the Saturday evening, who you have deal with in your team, or there are good guys or bad guys. Fortunately for us, everybody that participate and joined even the highest level was for me. I was so glad and positively surprised that was no complaining, no arguing, we understand each other. If someone is taking, the Pathfinder was in the front, he chose that we have to rely on him. Everybody can make mistakes, but we have to understand it. What we should do on his part. Probably we should take maybe the same decision. So you have to understand, and you still have in the back of the head that we are a team. We have to work together. If we start to argue and do this kind of stuff, it will not work. We have to cooperate. Yeah. Even if something fucks up, somehow we have to work together to figure it out and continue. And it's the same as you have to try it. It's hard to explain to someone. I was actually, for the first event, I was invited by Victor from our team that we are cooperating since a little bit before, but he recommended me the tango. The first tango we was it was okay. It was something new. It was with there is something I needed to digest, because it was it was totally different. It was something new, all the planning and all the stuff thinking, even if at that time I was like a you can say regular trooper, now I'm leading my team, and now I'm planning for my team. So it's like 7 years. I see how much I went into this, into this ladder of the position in the events. Now I lead our team, our side, basically.
Yeah.
It was really much to digest. I was thinking like, oh, it's so difficult. I don't know if I will participate next year, but I said, okay, I will try. I know how it looks now. I know what I have to think about for the next time. Prepare myself, or with equipment, or with the mental, or whatever. We have to be like, you cannot, as well, you cannot like to give up after first time. Even if it was difficult for you, for somehow, it's try to give a second chance. I did it, and I'm happy because it was with every event. Because it was not the thing is, some people maybe they can complain for the organizers, they can complain on SSMG. I don't think it's, from my point of view, I see it now after all these years with SSMG. It was not the problem from the organizer side, it was from my side. If I said, no, I will not go there, I better want to sleep, and then I get attacked by enemy forces. Oh shit, he sent them on me. No. They had some mission. You slept. That's why they could get you in while you're sleeping. That's the thing. You have to reconsider it. Okay, it's not what they did, because you have the mission briefing and so on. You have to by yourself. You have to plan this. You have to think, and then as good you're gonna plan this, that what we was talking before. If you plan everything well, think about well, it will be much better game. And it was for me, with every year I get more and more experience. It was more and more fun. And now even it was last Eagle was so difficult because of the all the swimming. I still felt like it was awesome. And it was, comparing to the first event, it was Tango at I was like 2013. It was nothing to compare with the difficulty, with the both tactical and all this part. It was nothing to compare it. Now it was, if in 2013, if someone will tell me that that he did something what I did now, I probably not believe him. But I did it myself, so I know it's worth to try, and I really recommend everybody to at least to try. And then even if you think, I don't know, give it second chance, or as we talked before, you always can talk to you, Robin, to me, or some other people which was with SSMG for so many years. We can explain, we can help, because it's usually it's not the problem with the organizer, it's problem with us, that we did something wrong, or we was waiting that something will come by itself. No, we have to do by ourselves. We do the mission. Not we get the order and we do the mission. How we gonna prepare us and reconsider it and think and plan. This will be the final effect. How it went. So it's basically it's us that has to make this game good, basically.
Well, it's a cooperation between players and host, because if you think, and this is where it can go wrong as a gayer host relationship, I think. If you think that just because you have paid the gaming fee, that it will be like going to the movies and I will be the one responsible for entertaining you the whole weekend, then you're very wrong, because that is not my job. My job is to coach you, and I want thinking players, thinking soldiers in the field that can handle themselves, and people that can handle difficult situations when they arise in the moment. And to have people that can reach that level, then you need experience and knowledge. And that is why I'm trying to close the gap and even out the knowledge within the teams and between teams, just so that we get this mutual cooperation between gaming host and and players that actually do the job out there. Because if I do not participate, if I do not try to coach and close this gap, and as I mentioned earlier, then I can never plan further with the difficulties or make missions interesting. Then we only end up back at the same pit, and that is to just shoot at each other and call it for the day. And the fun part, because as I see it, military life or military experience, the shooting part where you actually release a bullet from your rifle, that's a very, very small part of military life. The rest around it, everything that when it comes to gear, weather, environment, seasons, how long a mission is, who are your team members, what are we doing, when are we doing it, all this is also a part of military life. And most of it is I don't have the ability to simulate, because as you said, you drop into the water winter time just to harden yourself, to train and trim your body. That I mean, cold water, swimming in water that is 4 degrees, that is not a simulation. That is actually real life. Walking out the cliff, experiencing the fear of death, that is also not a simulation. Exactly the same feeling, whether it's if it's in real war or if it's in just an event. But people that like to shoot, the shooting part, because we are talking a lot about walking, swimming, etc. What should we say to those guys that really like to shoot? Robin?
Well, now I can. Maybe I can start now. Well,
okay.
Of course, there is a type of people they call speed softers. They like the indoors. They like fast shooting. And okay, so probably it's nothing for them. But if there is, in the beginning, I remember that I really like to shoot as well. But the SSMG events are for the guys out there that they are experienced. They are playing airsoft for a few years. Maybe were on different kind of events. Then, if you want to try yourself with something new, what will show you how much you're worth, how much you can handle, how much you can do, how much you can fight your all your phobias and fears, then it's for you. It's nothing for half gods. As we said before, me, Robin, we are regular guys. We just, on some part of our hobby, we decide to, okay, now I want to try something more. And this and SSMG is for this kind of guys. Of course, it's not for everybody. Of course, personally, I don't like the speed software. I don't like run just to shoot. I like the tactical part of airsoft, and probably there is a lot of this kind of guys. Probably the only thing is that they have to know about that there is someone that can provide all this kind of experience that they want like to try, and it's for them.
Sounds great. Robin?
As Dominic says, I mean, if you have a mission, and if you can succeed with the mission without firing a single bullet, I would say in reality that's the perfect mission.
Oh yeah.
If you have to engage in a firefight, you're exposed, you have drawn all the attention to you, everyone knows where you are because they can hear where the shots come from and everything. I should say, that's like it's not necessary with the firefight. Of course, it's fun when it happens, but if you can manage to do your mission without being seen and without having to engage in a firefight, I mean, under the games we had a lot of times when we have seen the enemy, when we had just a small chat, should we engage, what is the positives of engaging, what is the negatives. If we engage, maybe they have more men incoming, and we're fucked. If we just keep on sneaking because they haven't seen us, we will probably end up with a successful mission. So it's not the first guy you see you don't shoot. You always think twice before engaging in a fight, and that's the realism of the thing. And that's why we love it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
There's a lot of magazines to empty after every game. A lot of bullets goes to waste.
That sounds good. Yeah, well, it also varies. Some events there is a lot of shooting, some nothing. It depends on the mission, of course, and that's how it is in real life also. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I think we covered every topic basically as much as we could. Maybe I should chip in on. As I said, I think in the beginning that I should mention all the other events also that we have.
Yes.
Because the multi-level concept covers Eagle that we talked about today covers the marine part. Tango covers the land part. That's where we operate more on land and some water-based missions depending on level. You can use vehicles more and etc. And then we have Operation Yeti. That is a winter subarctic event, land-based, and the whole purpose of Yeti is to, of course, very special environment, winter time. You never know what to expect. It requires more of the individual soldier to actually handle yourself personally, handle your gear. Having the right gear, and winter time you face different challenges from what you do, for example, summertime, because you have to constantly not only battle your enemy, you also constantly have to battle the cold that you're exposed to, and that makes better experienced players out of everyone. So that is a special set, but it's a mosquito-free event, as I like to call it. So that's the whole advantage of it.
At least one problem less.
Yeah. So no insects. That's good. You're free, but then the problem comes. You cannot really sit down either without freezing your ass off. So. So it's a different type of gaming. That is why, and it covers up our SSMG's multi-level thinking. We have winter, summer, water, and the only thing that I still have left to cover is, hopefully I will manage to launch it by 2022 if possible, is up in northern parts of Sweden summertime, a little more long range operations up in the mountains, mountain environment.
Yeah.
And then we will totally be on board. So we do cover boating, winter, summer land, summer water. So that pretty well sums it up. And if you can manage all these environments at a high level or at any level, then you're doing good, I would say. What do you feel, guys? Do you have anything to add? Anything that I have forgotten, or anything that you would like to add?
Join now on ssmg.se.
Yeehaw.
Exactly. Don't hesitate. Try it. You won't regret. You will meet us on the battlefield. We help you. You will see it will be really, really nice.
And
you always help us out, Dominic. You always help us with a bullet in the face. Thank you for that. Thank you for the help.
I know it works in both ways. It works in both ways. So
yeah.
But the best part is that the people get the chance to meet you guys in real life out in the fields.
Yeah.
And and then you can really see they can really see what it's all about. Okay, do you have anything else? Or do we feel that we have covered everything that we want to say for this podcast?
I feel that I think at least I think I said everything what I was thinking about for a few days, what I want to say about. So probably I'm really satisfied with all this discussion.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. You too, Robin?
It's fun to hear that we have we're playing in like different teams and we are always enemies, but we have the exact same experiences. We faced
and thoughts.
exactly the same things.
Then it's hard to say if you are second that who's supposed to say something. It's really hard to find something more than opponent already said, because it's everything what you think about. You okay, this I will speak about, and then Robin says everything, including the food sharing. It's
just so you know.
But it's just because we all, at least our teams, but most of people that participating for so many years in SSMG has basically the same feelings. It works the same.
Yeah. You have to have the good team spirit to actually pull through, because I don't think anybody at the level you guys are playing at can hide their personality for 4 days in the field out there. So if you are a member of teams like yours, then it's really hard. As you said, I mean, if you play during a Sunday event or anything, then you know that by the end of the day you'll be home. Everybody can keep it together for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
But for a half a week that you guys are going at it, then you really need to keep the spirit up and help each other in the field, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Mental and physical challenges, both personal and team challenges, and as a team you pull through even the most difficult parts. That's how I see it. And for you guys, just for a little about the future information, you have experienced stuff like that, but what's on your agenda, what's waiting for you guys is also, when it comes to repelling, it will be tactical repelling from higher heights, and also into boats, into water, and even nighttime repelling.
That sounds nice.
And team repelling also, several people at the same time on different ropes, with as how to work out if there's enemy in the area, how to cover, how to get down safe, which way to point the weapons, etc. More advanced boating, both day and nighttime navigations, operations, swimming, patrol swimming, both day and night, etc. Now you have covered the distance, you have done basics, but more difficult challenges ahead, of course, when it comes to Eagle, and what I think you will enjoy most likely.
Probably.
No, we're sure.
I will start by saying no, and then I will do it, and I will probably enjoy it.
Yeah. Always start an event by saying no.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Anybody else want to say anything?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah.
It has been a wonderful talk. I hope that the listeners also have enjoyed it. And if you have any questions,
I did.
If you have any questions, you can always find SSMG on Instagram, Facebook, or email us directly at info@ssmg.se. And if you want to speak to these wonderful guys that I've had the privilege to know for so many years, or want to join them, their teams, or anything, just contact me and I will forward you to these teams. So yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, and see you on the field.
See you in the field.
Will, or not.
Or not.
Sometimes we don't see each other.
then it's good, because you know we did successful mission without being compromised.
That's wonderful, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye.
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 Bye.